Hi there, my name is Dino Pierre, and as part of a study for this semester, I'm presenting the first of a series of digital diary, particularly here, upload 1 for MR442. Chiefly home in Bathurst. The two pictures you've seen there is one in color and this one in black and white. They are quite fascinating place. The space there is like frozen in time. It reminds me a little bit of the Titanic movie when the spectators in the hall they sort of instantly relate to the shipwreck when and try to make connections. People try to make connections to these places. So as you can see, furnitures and personal effects that once were the modest belongings to the chiefly couple has remained intact, and thanks to the maintenance by the Bathurst Regional Council. Well, objects at the chiefly home are quite important as they contribute to the narrative, to the historic city of the place. They indicate the status of the owners, and in this case, well, it's obvious that the chiefly were overwhelmingly content with the middle class. So, it came to me to choose among these objects at the buffers, like this one, the clock on the mantelpiece, this fly repellent, which is quite compared to those of today's is enormous difference. This one is more cumbersome. This pipe holder. This plane, this silvery plane as well, is quite interesting design. And finally this radio. The radio looks more from a modern era, obviously the 1920s. So that leaves us to consider significance of objects, and obviously we have to choose one object from the chiefly. And in doing so, I was thinking of how we're going to relate the history of art to depicting those objects. Here is a work by Man Ray, The Gift, a flat iron with pins in the middle, and the wheel bicycle by Marcel Duchamp. So early 20th century representation of objects. Obviously, these representations were a kind of revolt against painting, and ready-mades by Duchamp, for instance, they were simply a way to give a more of an experience for the mind rather than just pleasing the eyes. For this project, I'm considering the suitcase. This suitcase still lying on top of the wardrobe. So normally it's a place where people store things, and according to the networking Prime Ministerial Research and Collecting Agencies, the suitcase measures 61 by 38 centimeter and is 17 centimeter deep. Seems too small to carry all that a traveller might need, and that Ben Chifley was known to be a light traveller. So he apparently used the same suitcase all through his political career that spanned over almost 2 decades, and the last 5 years as him as a Prime Minister of Austria, the 16th Prime Minister of Austria. In fact, the many facets I explored about the character of a person barely showed him with a suitcase, and this is the only picture where Ben is seen with it. So for this series of painting, I would imagine after some time I will be doing some painting on this iconic figure of the Chifley project. Here, Julia Gillard standing in between the two prime ministers, Ben Chifley and I can't remember this other one, but eventually the prominent figure of Ben Chifley would be somewhat something that I'm going to explore in this project. He is a lonely figure walking down the countryside, and he's always having his pipe. But I guess I will stress on the fact that he always had this suitcase somewhere somehow, and we are going to see how I can explore. Now, this is one of the artist research I've been doing so far. A work by Joel Rea, which provides quite fantastic clues to the thinking tank of this project, and then this work by Jeremy Geddes as well. They have this ability to provoke the idea of the non-gravitational. Both artists explore a lot on a kind of cinematic notion, and captures what exists in their own time. So certainly I will try to draw inspiration from these artists, and we'll see how I can certainly adapt to a series of painting on the Chifley project, and see how we go with real life situation. I believe at this stage I still have to do some more sketches, and come with something for the future. Now, I've been thinking of, with all the artist research I've made so far, I've been thinking this is one of my personal work, which depict people, human figures in urban spaces. Trying to play a little bit with those abstract and figurative elements. So I'm thinking for the work to come, the Chifley is a depiction of the man himself, Ben Chifley, or even sort of a representation of elements associated with the luggage, like in this one, a kind of composition where it is linked to nostalgia, to the constant transition. I'm thinking of coming up with a composition of a transient nature. In this one, for instance, I tried to depict figures in urban spaces, and contrasting with other elements. Just as an example of where I want to come up with my paintings that I want to do on the Chifley. Probably getting the suitcase as quite an important feature in a sort of real life situations of Ben Chifley. So as you can see in those two paintings, but two of his personal paintings that I did, I might use the quality of this flux, if you want, this kind of changing colors and textures, and come up with some compositions, at least 2 or 3 paintings for a kind of working on this topic, but chiefly so this is it, and hopefully with a second diary I'll be more explicit with where we are going with this project. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye bye.